Hey folks, Ray from loveyourrv.com. Just checking out this egret on the pond. If you hear some sizzling, that's the pond fountain over there. Sorry about that. You got quite a bit of traffic noise too. And you might hear some real chomping from a little beagle going at a pig's ear over here. Anyway, today I am going to take a look at this water filtration system that I showed you in the last video from ClearSource here. It looks like it's a two-stage water filter system. It has kind of a, I think it's a 5 micron filter and a 0.5 micron filter. So one of them filters out the sediments and one of them filters out some of the nasty things. Thing looks super well built. They're going after being one of the best built filter systems on the market. Whoop! So you can see they're using stainless steel all through it here versus plastic that a lot of them use. Nice fittings. They also got a really heavy duty case here, solid metal, so it'll stand up on its own no problem. Let's just unscrew some of the two jugs here. There we go. You can see there's one of the filters that looks like the charcoal filter. Got nice O-rings in there. Nice heavy duty threads on it. And the plastic is really heavy and thick. Really good solid plastic on that. And that looks like the sediment filter there. So what I plan to do with this puppy is I don't really have room in my storage bays to store it. I'm pretty crammed being a full-time RVer. So I'm going to mount it on the back bumper, actually pretty close to my fresh water fill, and then I'll be able to use it when I'm filling up for boondocking, which I often do at kind of sketchy places. A lot of time I get well water, whatever I can get, so it'll be nice to get it really well filtered before it enters the fresh water tank. So maybe I'll hook it up first to our city water system and see how the flow is in the RV when I use this thing. Okay, let's flush out the carbon filter there first and we'll hook it up to the RV. Looks like pretty good flow though. Test the flow. That's pretty good flow. Try the bathroom here. Yeah, that's filling pretty fast. Give the shower a quick look-see. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So that's without my water regulator on, so I'm going to put that in line and see how it is. Okay, do that up. Put my Valterra water regulator in line. We'll go have a look at the flow now. That's about normal. I like to keep the pressure down so I don't run the risk of blowing out my water lines. It's fairly normal. Yeah, and that's even with that second hose I have is a 1/2 inch, not a 5/8. So pretty good. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with the way that works, hooked to the city water connection, good flow and everything. What I really want to do with it though is mount it on my bumper here. When we're on city water, when we're back in BC, our water's so good, I'm not really worried about filtering it. It's just fabulous water. We have rainwater, fills reservoirs, really super clean. But when we hit the desert here and we do a lot of boondocking, there's a lot of salts and minerals in the water, and you end up, a lot of times you're pulling out kind of well water. Sometimes it's not potable. You know, you're kind of boondocking, you're trying to get water wherever you can. So I want to use this to filter that water primarily. So I'm going to mount it on the bumper there, and then it'll be really convenient because right down here is my water fill, so I just need a short hose into the water fill, hook up at the station, and I should be able to filter my water as it goes in. Now for mounting it, I'm going to use these U-clamps here. This is my tire holder that came with the rig. I don't use it. I took the tire off a long time ago and I put it underneath my hitch in the truck there. Get out of the way, Beagle. But I'm going to use these U-clamps here until I can get some better ones. I kind of went to Home Depot, but they didn't have anything similar. I'd like to get some actual stainless steel hardware to do the trick, but this should be good enough for trying it out for the review. So I'm going to unbolt this thing. I'll drill some holes in this. The metal appears heavy enough to be able to handle the load on the bumper there without any problems, so I'll give her a try anyway. Okay, measure 3 times, drill once. I think I got the holes in the right place. I think I'm going to mount it in the center of the bumper because this part here will give it a little bit of extra support on that, and that's where they mounted the tires, so it must be the strongest part of the bumper there. Okay. Oh yeah, that's pretty solid. So right now I just have lock washers on that, just like the tire did. But probably once I get some stainless hardware, I'll also get some of those nylock nuts for it as well, and just make sure it doesn't come loose. But that's going to be tight. I kind of told the manufacturer guy about this idea and kind of ran it by him to make sure what was going to be okay, whatever he thought about it. He just said, should be good, just make sure that the cylinders are nice and tight when you leave so they don't come loose. And I think I'm going to put something on the input and output here so that I don't get a bunch of dust from the road grime and debris while I'm traveling inside my filter. But that looks pretty cool. There we go. Just added my winterizing blowout plug to that end and put on a Y connector on this end, so if I keep the valves closed, won't get any debris in there. So it's be interesting to try that out. I think it's going to be okay back there. It'll definitely get a test when I go into the boondocking road. So stay tuned. We're going to go off tomorrow, do some boondocking in the desert. So we're going to stop at a water fill station at a rest stop. So we'll put it to the test. Stay tuned. Okay, there we go. All hooked up for the fill up. Got the water coming out of the rest stop spigot going through the dual stage filter there and into my tank. Sweet. One thing I had to do is it seemed that on this connector the hose went in too deep, or it didn't go in deep enough, and I was getting a lot of leakage, so I had to put a second washer in there. That's what all the water's about back here. But yeah, that's working good. Just did about 80 miles there. No problem. Well, here we are all set up at our boondocking spot with a full tank of fresh, clean water. So I think that worked out really well. Let's give you a little bit of information about this thing. The filters can filter out 2,000 gallons of water before they need to be changed. They're available for $29.95 for the pair of them. And so 2,000 gallons, I have a 60-gallon freshwater tank, so I should be able to do 33 tanks before I need to swap out the filters, so that's not too bad. They purposely have used oversized large canisters on there so that you can keep the flow rate really well. They also, like I had mentioned before, they use stainless hardware on there. This swivel connector that I had the problem with is a new feature, and it's actually not available yet. I think they said they were coming out in January, because originally this came with just a fixed connector, so you know when you're doing up a hose to it, it's kind of a pain. So the swivel connector is kind of a new thing. They sent it out for me as for doing the review to show off the new swivels. So I mentioned to them I had a problem how deep it was with my hose, and I think they've tested it on some hoses but not all, so they might have to adjust that before it's ready for prime time. And also I told them, you know, it's got a nut on there. It'd be nice if they had kind of a bigger plastic piece, so when you're doing it up, sometimes it's a little tight, especially in cold weather and stuff. It'd be nice if there's a little plastic extra, kind of like a butterfly thing, so you could really get a good grip on it without pulling out a wrench or something like that. But one thing I like about it is the stand that it came with. A lot of these filters I've seen, they come with wussy little stands or no stand at all, and you're kind of stuck on your own devices setting up a nice stand holder for them. And this one came nicely pre-packaged like that, so it allowed me to bolt it right on the bumper there, no problem. So yeah, I give that a thumbs up. The only con I can see for some people might be the price. It's well over $200 for the package, but you are getting quite a bit of nice hardware there. Probably be the last RV filter system you're going to have to buy, other than, you know, replacement of filters, of course. So I think it's worth the cost if you want good clean water in your RV, especially for boondocking. Another thing they said they're looking at doing is offering deionization filters to fit in there, so I could swap out these for filtering clean water and put in the deionization filters, and that would get rid of the hard water spots, so I could use those to wash the rig and not have the water spots left behind. So that's pretty cool. So they might ship me out a set of those if I get somewhere where I can receive packages, and I'll definitely give them a try and report back to you on how it goes. So what do you think, Angie? You liking that nice clean water now? Yeah, nice and clean for the doggy. So I'll be down here boondocking probably for another 3 months or so, and then we'll be making our way back up north, so this thing's going to get put to the test. So we'll probably come back in a few months with an update to the review. I usually go through all the products I've reviewed and come back after using them a while and let you know what I think. So I think this one's going to work out good, but time will tell. Anyway, thanks for watching again. Ray from loveyourrv.com, and Angie out here in the desert enjoying the quiet boondocking. Day after Christmas today. Nice and quiet, about 70 degrees, a little bit overcast. A few other rigs scattered about. You can see our closest neighbors are well away, hundreds of yards away. Cheers, folks.